going, everybody? Shinigami here to bring you another video. Hopefully y'all enjoy what we got cooking up today. Now, this one was pretty easy to make. Just handed to me on a silver platter, and I said, sure, I'll read it. So, Marvel ain't in the best spot, especially after having a few flops here and there and not really listening to the audience, also calling the fans toxic and, you know, continuing that same behavior that got them in the position they're at right now. Well, it only gets worse because of the people they had hired, full of debauchery. Well, Jonathan Majors has been fired from Marvel and was found guilty on the exact charges. It was, I will find it exactly. Yeah, 2 charges. He was found so the charges were a misdemeanor and a violation, carry up to 1 year in prison. Now, will he actually serve that time? Obviously, probably not. But he actually did do some dumb shit. And it goes further back even to like September of 2022. So, let's get right into it. Without further ado, like I said, Jonathan Majors found guilty of assault and harassment on the 2 charges of, some of them basically, you know, unintentional assault and not guilty of aggravated assault. But in the statement after the verdict, the actor's attorney, Priya Majors, looks forward to fully clearing his name, so it looks like they're going to try to appeal it. But also, shortly after the verdict was read, Marvel Studios dropped him from, you know, all upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe films. In total, Majors faces 4 charges of assault, aggravated assault, harassment, and harassment after the 911 call on March 25th. And when he said he found his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari unconscious in their apartment, police arrested Majors after finding apparent injuries on Jabari, including a laceration behind her ear and a bruised and fractured finger. Majors pleaded not guilty to all charges. But Jabari did, you know, take to the stand after the for the first 4 days of the trial. Majors said Majors had caused the injuries during the altercation in the car several hours before. She testified that the alleged incident occurred in a private car when she saw a text on Majors' phone that read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabari had said she tried to snatch the phone from him, and that's when he pried her fingers on the phone and grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm, and struck her on the head to get the phone away from her. Still kind of wish maybe we had that video. That there was claims that, you know, there was video that we could have seen, but oh well. The other thing is the defense argued that he placed her back in the car to stop her from running into traffic. That action is captured on surveillance video, while the altercation inside the car was not captured on camera. Like I said, the charges against Major were brought by the state and rather than Jabari herself. That also makes the difference because this turns from a civil case to a criminal, and also, what's it called? The burden of proof is higher for the jury, which means they have to actually find more evidence without a reasonable doubt that, you know, he did commit these crimes. And this is only, you know, shortly after Ant-Man Quantumania, Loki Season 2, and he even had an upcoming project called Magazine Dreams that has been taken off the release schedule. Now, in short, this could have all been avoided if, you know, well, for one, wasn't being so aggressive towards, you know, your girlfriend and stuff. And I mean, obviously the video evidence of a lot of these Hollywood people that kind of go a little bit nuts. Everything's being recorded now, everything's surveillance, so if you think you're gonna hide from, you know, assault, yeah, maybe there are free places you can hide, but out in public or something like this, no. And it gets even worse when, you know, they were peddling this guy to be, you know, such a magnificent man, right? I mean, he even stopped a fight outside the court before he had to go a few days before. I remember that whole thing and seeing him act, you know, be a hero in this whole thing to try to like PR stunt this bullshit. Yeah, it really showed that they were like, no, we gotta figure out any way to make this benefit us, right? Unfortunately, that was not in the heart of the cards. Yeah, the actor was set for a major chess piece on Disney Plus, but was interrupted. And what I found really funny, especially about this with Marvel putting all their eggs in one basket, was making this man the focal point of the MCU. Like this, having every single king be the same. And even though we had some other examples like Spider-Man and was it Maria? I think it was Maria Rambeau. No, well, she's different characters in each world. Granted, I guess she's still the same, but they recasted Beast, stuff like that. And obviously, we're not also. They're not afraid to recast. They clearly got rid of what's his name? Oh, the name escapes me right now. Hold on, let me find it. It's up here. Terrence Howard. They replaced Edward Norton, and what? Oh, the most recent one also was Harrison Ford being replacing Thunderbolt Ross and all that stuff. So obviously, yeah, they can recast him, but it was already a dumb move on the way they kind of tried to play this all out, right? I don't know. Here's something big though that I was reading on that piqued my interest. Obviously, the franchise has been in flux right now, and obviously dwindling goodwill from the audience and everything post Endgame. The studio's been struggling with consistency, quality, and box office returns. Bob Iger has also been publicly critical of the studio, saying on several occasions that Disney needs to be more selective, even though they pumped out the Marvels, whatever. Yeah, the strain is obviously adding on to Disney even further, when the fact that they didn't even comment on the future of Loki, season 3 possibly, right? And just pointing out that it's just too much of a slog. Previously recovered from a string of lackluster films and a deep well of stories and characters to pull from, they have a good box office track record. It just seems oversaturation during the whole COVID pandemic, and really a lot of hit or misses. Too many new heroes, too many new villains, with not enough consistency or even continuity between each film or show. And by the end of it, it just felt like homework for a lot of people instead of excitement to see the next, big thing. And one more thing to add is, well, most of their films keep ranging at least 200 mil to start with the production, and then you still got your 150 for marketing, and it usually goes up from there. But yeah, Marvel is definitely in a kerfuffle now. Will they be able to get out of this mess as easily as it got into it? I guess time will tell. But let me know what y'all think. Did Jonathan Majors deserve it? Well, obviously he did, but did y'all think he deserved it? Especially reading everything that, went down. And do you think Marvel kind of put a little too much faith in him? Let me know. Other than that, it's H. Shinigami signing out, and y'all have a good evening, good night, and good morning. Bye.